It was a godsend. I remember back in the day, you used to be able to duplicate stuff though, because right. So I probably shouldn't be saying this, right? So if you originally went on to Project Ironclad, and don't ask how I found this out. I met some people in Project Ironclad one day, and if you went into Project Ironclad before they patched everything.
Welcome to Metaverse Degen. I'm Lion. There's no rap today. He's currently helping family, but you are here, joined by our wonderful guests. Who are you?
Do you want to start from the side?
Oh, I was just waving. Hi, I'm Resor. Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Lessa.
I'm Angel.
Kirito.
Hello, I'm Scrapper.
Dathomir.
Hemlines. Gordiana.
And JP over here.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you all. Thank you for joining us. I can't wait to hear all about you guys. So, may I ask, what is it you're known for, and what got you all into VRChat, and what got you started?
I don't know where to begin with this one. Mentally tried to prepare myself before this interview.
Yeah.
We are the Sleeping Knights. I can't speak for everybody else, but personally, I got into VRChat because a friend of mine recommended me to get on and do some role playing with him.
Mm-hmm.
I was running a community before that called the Moonlit Gaming, or rather Moonlit Kingdom at the time. We alternated between names depending upon the situation. So the community came together when we met. Well, I met rather two individuals, which was Lauren or Star Queen Arsena and Alice or Alice Synthesis 30, otherwise known as Night Alice. They were running their own respective communities at the time. We were all Sword Art Online fans, and we immediately hit it off. Eventually, we decided that whilst we were all in each other's communities, it might be prudent for us to all come together to form one big community. And the three of us came together to form the Sleeping Knights. After that, we started going through the numbers, but I'd say the one thing that we're somewhat known for, although I'd hope we'd be known for at this point, we are a safe space in the VRChat community for people to go to if they want a non-toxic environment. So to us, we have a open door policy. Whether you be LGBTQ, furry, doesn't matter to us as long as you're not a nasty individual. Our doors are always open for you.
Oh, so what kinds of things do the Sleeping Knights do, may I ask, and what were some of your earliest events like?
Well, one
Scrapper, you
thing
want to
that
take that
we
one?
do
Oh, no, Angel.
is on Saturdays we host role plays.
Oh. Okay.
It's not like have to do with anything specific. We just decided on a story and started just improving our way through what we got so far.
Oh, wow. So what do you still do improv, or did it eventually lead to being planned? And how did things change over time?
At first, with the original story, it went from mostly improv to pretty much everything being planned out, but we absolutely hated that. So we recycled it, started over, and we've been doing mostly improv with very few like scripted pieces sprinkled in it.
Okay. So may I ask what has been the story so far in your improv storyline?
So basically, this takes place in like Japan and that half of the world. A basically a god got angry at humanity being as bad as it is and put up a wall of energy around that half the world. And if and the characters found out that people were getting infected, but they didn't know what was causing the infection. And what was causing the infection is sleep. If you fell asleep, you got infected. Well, the infection activated. You had the infection just from the energy wall, but the infection activates when you fall asleep. And we've just
You
had
become
little
restless,
story
as I like to coin it.
beats. Yes, the restless. And basically, so far, right now, we are
There's our
in a
Mackie.
storyline where we are the main characters are taking down a cult, I guess you could call them, called the Union. And we've kind of strayed away from the infection portion of it. We're trying to get back to that.
Should be
Wow.
coming up in the next sessions or two.
Mhm.
Wow. So
We've done a
is
few crossovers in the RP with different universes as well. We have kind of a multiverse thing going on. So we're currently crossing over a little bit with the Sonic the Hedgehog universe. We've also crossed over with Sword Art Online. In the last RP that we did, we crossed over a little bit with Has Been Hotel, which was quite fun. We also crossed over with Fallout. There were so many crossovers going on at one point, though, that we got a bit overwhelmed.
Yeah, it got way too convoluted.
ah,
And so right now we're basically doing you can wear avatars from IPs, but they can't have the same name as the IP. The only exception is Shadow.
Yeah,
Which,
Shadow's the only exception at the moment.
for example, I play a merchant character I call Grim, but I'm using the avatar of Avarice from the game Darksiders 3 as kind of a stand-in.
oh, okay. So how do you keep track of everything, may I ask, between the regular story and then the crossovers? If it
We have a separate server set up called the TSK Roleplay server. It's where we manage everything. We try and have meetings as much as possible, or sometimes we can forget. It's
At
yeah.
the very least once a week.
At the very least once a week, yeah. The multiverse story. I'm still working on the whole foundation of it. Trying to basically get the lore and everything done for the whole thing. I've got a pretty good baseline at the moment, but it's still a work in progress. There's been a lot of characters that have come in and out of the stories so far.
okay. So I'll start with this then as well. What have been some of your favorite moments either during crossplay between other communities or even within your own events? That's up to everybody.
Crossplay.
We don't really
I
do
can
any of events with other servers.
Hmm.
It's just that their members take part in our events because they're in our server.
Ah.
One event that does come to mind for me, however, is the recent biannual ball with the GFC.
Yeah.
Which
Oh
was
yeah,
quite
that was
fun.
that was a fun one.
Yes, and the Winter Solstice that we
Yes,
did
that was
with
also incredibly fun.
501st and the GFC. They were
Yeah, they were in
and
attendance too.
Constructicons as well.
Looking at one of them right here.
We also occasionally have event nights where members of our server that have VRs take place in games in VR, like Murder Mystery. There's
Audience Anarchy is one of them.
Audience Anarchy,
Blackout,
Ghost is also
Blackout.
another.
Factor.
all sorts. We try and get everyone, as much as we can, included in the fun.
Oh, okay. So I'll start with the biannual ball. What is the biannual ball for those who don't know, and why is that a favorite?
I will let
The
Scrapper
biannual-
or Lesser explain that one.
Yeah.
the
For
GFC. I'll let them
yeah,
explain that.
yeah. For context on that one, the biannual ball, it's a event within GFC or Galaxy Fleet Command, our big Star Trek allies. For those who don't know, that it celebrates a lot of the accomplishments and accolades of some of the members of the GFC. Happens twice a year, once during summer, once during winter. And it's like a big event just for people to receive the credit that that they that they have earned for the accomplishments they've made.
Oh wow.
Usually within that one, it's a big event for promotions possibly. It's like I went from just a simple ensign, the bottom of the officer's rank, to lieutenant commander as of recently. A couple of us have actually, like Lessa and Makino, for example.
Oh wow. So if there are other groups in attendance, do this also any of those things happen over for other groups as well, or is it all celebrating the GFC?
For the last one we did.
I was
Sorry,
going to
Lance.
say that when we were at the biannual ball, or was it winter solstice? I cannot remember
A little bit of both.
exactly which
Both.
one it was. I think it was both, but we also got a chance to stand on stage and give out our promotions to people who've done incredible things, who've helped out immensely, as well as show off some of the projects we've worked on, one of which being the Swordcraft Academy, which is hosted by Kirito and Makino, in a display of swordsmanship with the first class to ever go through it.
Ooh.
I teach swordsmanship in VR alongside Makino and Sybil Feywolf.
Wow.
Mhm.
What started that, may I ask, and what happens in the teaching?
It was a little bit of inspiration from Sword Art Online. There was an actual academy in the series, season 3, called the Swordcraft Academy, where Kirito and Yujiro trained. And obviously, I've always loved using a sword in VR. I taught myself how to do that, and I said, well, hell with it. I wanted to try and start up a class or two in here. Kind of fell under the radar for a little bit because I so many other projects started that I couldn't keep up with it, so I closed it for a little bit. But then when I reopened it, I asked Makino here to be a teacher in there with me, and she's been a massive help, bless her. In the Swordcraft Academy, we teach you at least 4 different forms of basic swordsmanship. You can the classes are voluntary. Anybody can turn up to the classes. They don't even have to participate in the ranking structure of it of any sort of thing. You don't have to get graded at the academy. You can just turn up for the fun of it. But if you wish to stay on and get graded, obviously you can go through the actual ranking structure of it. So you start off as a primary trainee, and then there's elite trainee, and then disciple and elite disciple, and then once you become an elite disciple, there are actually 5 forms, but you have to learn form 5 yourself. You have to teach yourself form 5. So form 5 is where you get
Your
to
own
pick any
custom
weapon
form.
that you want to use. Yeah, that's your own custom form. So we can teach you the basic sword forms, but you then have to make your own sword form from it, because everybody's swordsmanship style is different. Makino here, if you'd like to explain what you do in the Swordcraft Academy.
So, to start, since we divvied up the responsibilities now, but what we used to do before the biannual ball to get everyone ready, we had a regiment, the 3 different forms, or the 2 different forms to start out before you're graded to the next rank, and then the other 2 for later. What we do is pretty much just how any other sword class would go. We teach them how to really use their weapon with one hand and then both hands. The one-handed techniques are for the first two, and the two-handed techniques are for the last two. What they would have to do in order to progress to the next rank is pretty much show their proficiency in what they had learned. And once they have shown that, I believe it is, once they do that, they'll be promoted to the next ranking. If they complete the other two and have all four forms down, then they would go up against one of the instructors
Hmm.
in order to be promoted to the, I think it's the third or second highest rank, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, okay. So, what is the purpose of attending the Swordcraft Academy, and how does the ranking structure differ between your role play and the academy?
So the purpose is really just for fun. It helps teach people who want to. So if somebody wanted to we go to like a fantasy RP, they could use the skills that they learn at the Swordcraft Academy to, do it, or just to show off to their friends. That's literally the main reason that I wanted to start it anyways, is because obviously again I like using the sword. Yeah, it's something that I'm very passionate about, and so obviously if I can help people to learn how to do that, then that's just an added bonus for me. I like seeing people happy.
Hmm.
The ranking difference between that and the RP, there's not really that much of a ranking structure. We have the mods who help get everybody where they need to be, and set up different little like surprise events and Easter eggs during the thing. The ranking in the Swordcraft Academy is different. How would you? I wouldn't really know how to answer that question. How, in what way it's different? Trying to think of the best way to answer this.
So in, let's say, in Milsim servers, because that's what I'm used to comparing it as, what we have is subsidiary rankings
Hmm.
to show their proficiency in a certain field.
Hmm.
So let's say someone wants to be in the TSK a Star Knight or a Integrity Knight. A preliminary to becoming one of those is taking those classes if they wanted that training, so that they would have that there instead of having to go through a bunch of other things trying to be a Star Knight or a Integrity Knight, because that's required. It's to my understanding, it is required. Like in other servers, you need to have knowledge, you need to have that experience in order to have a certain position in a Milsim server. Without that experience, leaping into that position, then gaining the experience, it's not as effective as going all the way through. That's to my understanding.
Okay. Cool. Pins. Here we go. Thank you very much for explaining that. I very much appreciate it. So when someone was to attend both your role play and the academy, brand new, fresh into the server, what would they expect when they first come in?
So if they were, you mean if they were to come into the academy?
Yeah, if they were to
Um,
join the Sleeping Knights or the academy starting off, what would that player expect?
To go into the academy, it really depends. If they were to come straight into the academy, as far as the academy, if they were to come straight into the academy, they would be given the choice of whether they were wishing to be great. Oh, there goes Lance.
Oh, there goes Lance.
They would wish to be graded and stay on through the classes, because as Marky said, if you get graded and you manage to graduate under the Swordcraft Academy, you can apply to become an Integrity Knight, which is the VRChat security of our group.
Of our server.
Obviously, we're not a Milsim server. However, we have a big role play system around our entire server. Even though we are a chilled out community, we have a royal sort of monarchy around it. So
Hmm.
there's obviously the king, the queen, the princesses, the princes. The integrity knights would technically be the guards. They're just it's another fancy term for saying moderator. You know,
Our
Ah.
moderators,
so there
our
are
staff.
staff. There's staff, and then there's the VRChat staff, and then there's the Discord staff members and stuff like that. If they were to come straight into the academy, they were given the choice between the two, but they would also be given a avatar to be able to wear. So we picked out avatars. They're sort of online-based ones because obviously it's a sort of online-based academy. We picked out avatars that we thought were fair for everybody to use and least damaging, because the way we say it, a few people on here have phantom sense and phantom pain. And so if we gave somebody a massive long sword, and then somebody else had like a little short sword, and then somebody else had a lightsaber, and we're all having them train with each other, somebody's bound to get their eye poked out.
And
It's
in
gonna
the
be
case of the
unfair for certain
lightsaber, it's
people.
gonna burn a little bit,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Okay.
And the difference with the coming into the Swordcraft Academy and just joining in and doing the role plays, when it comes to like our Saturday role plays, all they need to do is create a character and we will figure out how to fit it into the story.
Okay. So you did say something interesting that intrigued me. Is it sounded like you took the regular roles from staff, moderator, player, and made them into role playable roles. What started that, may I ask? And or did that like start right off, or was that something evolved over time?
That was an idea, actually, from our Star Queen, God rest her soul. She designed, alongside Alice, a good 90% of how the community would roll, like the constitution of the community. Our community goes off of a simple thing. Role playing is not just what we do. Our main thing is to reach out to as many people that need help in the community, finding a safe group of players that are not going to get bullied at, they're going to actually be able to come on and chill with, and we want to get that out to as many people as possible. That was the Star Queen's dream, as well as mine and Alice's. And from that, we took what we had, and because obviously we're big SAO fans, as I keep saying, so we took the whole system and we reshaped it and said, well, how do we be different? And so the role playable thing, we decided to make it a democratic monarchy, whereupon there would be a king, there'd be a queen, there'd be, princesses and princes,
rest
there'd
of
be a
the
baron,
loyalty.
a duke, a duchess. However, the people in the server would still get the rights to vote on certain things. So there wouldn't just be one person saying, well, I'm the server leader, I get to no. We as leaders, we can get outvoted by the members. I believe that everybody should have the right to be able to speak up and make the server how they would like it to be.
Okay. That sounds like a very fair
Everybody
way.
has a choice, after all.
So how did the server take that change? Sorry to interrupt you.
No. You're fine. The server, from when we first made the altercation to it, when we first made all the alterations, some took it well, others preferred the old system. You can't please everybody, but so far it's been working. Good year now, it's been working.
Okay. So may I ask, what have been some of the decisions made by the server, and did they go as you had hoped?
Scrapper, you want to take that one?
I don't even know where to start on that one. I know we've had some
With
some
the
decisions on
latest
that
one,
like
with the latest
Wait,
one, we've recently decided to make the server 18 plus only.
yeah, that's a good
I
start.
think that was taken pretty well. We did have to drop a few members,
We
unfortunately.
do have to
but
talk. We did have to talk to some of our members, but
Don't we
they've
still
been
have to talk
told
to them?
that
No, we've
The-
that's a conversation for another day with that one. We
Yeah.
implemented a grandfathering
yeah.
in system on that one.
Ah. Okay.
Because previously it was like 16 plus, and then we changed it to 17 plus, and now it's 18 plus. I myself am 17, but since I am turning 18 this year, and even if I wasn't, this one wasn't gonna let me go since I'm a star princess.
hmm
Those who are turning 18 this year will be grandfathered in, even if they're 17. But those who aren't turning 18 this year will be asked to leave, but they will get a chance to come back when they turn 18.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Okay.
Safety of everybody, and it's
So
gonna
we
help.
we
it's
don't
gonna
cut
help
off
out
the
server.
doors immediately for everyone. There's still the chance that people can come back when the time is right.
Hmm. Okay.
This was encouraged by the new age verification system that they brought in, as it's yeah, this
I'm
community's
sure
ever
many of us on
changing.
VR have seen that by now.
Yeah, this community's ever changing, and to be fair, I think it was about time that we switched to 18 plus, because there's only so much that only so many people that we can obviously help out in a certain age group before we're like, okay, no, we have to move this up now.
Okay. So, Mask, all of your opinions on the age verification then for coming in. Do you think it's a good idea? And do you...
I think it's a good idea, but I am going to hold off on doing that for a little while, just to see how it works out with other people who are doing it. Because I don't fully trust the system yet, but if it proves to be like completely trustworthy, I will do that.
Okay.
I'm kind of in the same boat as well, personally.
Alrighty.
And that doesn't exactly help that, especially some of the younger people that do end up sneaking their way into this game. They can cheat the system. They can technically cheat the system and have their parents like try to um give them a little leeway, shall we say, and allow them in on this one. So it's not completely foolproof,
Hmm. Okay.
but it is a good idea at least that they've implemented it at this time. It
Alright.
gives a little bit of reassurance for everyone else.
So technically, what is happening right now on VRChat side of things is the age verification system is made so that people can create a group specifically for 18 plus, and to make sure that there is no children involved, or quote unquote children try to be 18 plus even though they are actually not. But it will basically lower down the incidence by more than 75%. It's kind of the same thing with the EAC problem that we had dealt with before, because VRChat wanted to create an EAC so that client crashers are reduced, kind of almost the same thing.
Okay. Cool. Well, I very much appreciate your inputs and insights. So thank you very much for that. I didn't mean to put you all on the spot, so I
You're welcome.
apologize.
Yeah, no worries.
No,
no
you're
worries.
welcome. No
All
worries.
fine.
Oh.
I do apologize for disappearing.
Oh, it's
My
it's
headset decided to be a funny man.
it's okay. That happens to
Headset
the
Gotta
best
remember
of
when
us.
technology doesn't want to work with you, as I always like to say.
Can't live without it.
Mm.
Just give a good smack on the top and it'll work out eventually.
Nah, it's fine. I think it was VRChat being funny.
That's how I got my
It's
old
fine.
TV to work.
I fixed your TV with a chopstick, dude.
Broke the button.
I still
That's
got
gonna
it
be
to
a story
work with
for
nothing
later
but a
there,
chopstick.
Kiri.
Chopstick man.
You broke the button to stop it from turning on and off.
I still got it to work the first time.
Hey, if it works, it
You're
works.
gonna remind me about that story later.
Yes, I will.
Oh. So a question for all of you. Over time, what have been your favorite parts of the story that have evolved with your system, may I ask? What kinds of things have happened? What things have stuck with you? And that is for everybody too.
Don't all jump at once.
Nice.
You and I had the same thought.
We've had plenty of fun times, especially in the RP, because a lot of really random stuff can happen. But I will always remember fondly, in the first RP before we started over, I was playing a god character called the Trickster, and I absolutely loved messing with people. It was my favorite thing to do in the RP.
You
Just had a
love
couple
being
running
chaos
gags on that one.
incarnate.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got
I
another
am chaos
Constructicon
incarnate.
buddy named Bone Crusher. He played a like he would on random occasions play a like one of the characters from the game Helldivers,
Mhm.
but it would always be in a very
Carlos.
inebriated
the
state,
dragon.
shall we say?
oh,
And
Always
always
a
just
lot of fun.
hilarious to see the bit that bit go about.
Those are fun.
hmm
hmm.
Some events I thoroughly
Personally,
enjoyed
sorry, go on.
were actually that's fine. Some of the events I did thoroughly enjoy doing were when we used to do public instances in I think it was the furry hideout. We
Yep.
would oftentimes just talk about some of the most random things, whether it was happening in real life, future projects we wanted to do, how things are going over in different servers, and just kind of genuinely get to be, I guess a good way to look at it is just be human again, in a way, and not be princes, knights, and such like that, and leadership. It's more just a chance to just sit back, relax, and be
Mhm.
yourself,
Hmm.
as well as
You get to know
offer
the people
safe space.
behind the avatars.
Yeah, and plus it was a good opportunity to see if anybody ever needed anything, and give them that opportunity to come join our safe space. And we
Absolutely.
didn't push it at the door. We just kind of let people do whatever. We just left it as a public instance and just let people run free.
Hmm.
People would come in, see us hanging out. Some would get in on the conversation and start having fun, and we'd offer them the chance to come join us.
Okay.
And for a
Well,
lot of
because
people, a lot of them stuck around. Others have moved on, and that's okay.
well, yes, we did let them run free. We didn't let them run too free. We did kick people who were not being good people and squeakers.
The younger folk plus plus any people who would raid us with less than ideal speech, shall we say,
Hmm.
we definitely would have to to remove them from the instance because we're trying to create a safe space, and that kind of stuff makes it less than safe for our members or
Hmm.
anybody who wishes to join us.
I wish you luck doing that. I'll tell you, being on the internet's quite hard. All the power to
Oh
you.
yeah, I know.
Isn't it just?
Seems to be working for us so far. So
Oh, I do remember before this started, you also mentioned that this world is sentimental to you. May I ask why?
The world, personally, sentimental to myself, as well as to a few others. This is where we used to gather quite a lot. There's a flight option on this world. This and another world called the Mother's Rosario. It's another SAO-based world. A lot of earlier SAO stuff used to happen on, SAO stuff. TSK stuff used to happen on a lot of the SAO worlds. This being one of them. So yeah, it was also a personal favorite map of our Star Queen.
Ah, so what were the events like in this world at the time?
Mainly it was just chill out. We'd come in here, take a few group photos, just mess about, see how high we could fly up through the sky barrier, because there is actually no barrier up there. You can fly up right until the game forces you to respawn. So we'd fly all up as
Oh,
high as we
right,
can just before the respawn, then let go and just see how fast we could all drop down.
You could
I'm pretty
actually
sure that
fly
tree
to
over in the
the
distance you
world
can actually
tree over
stand
there.
on, if I recall right.
Yeah, the World Tree and Ironcrad back there, you can actually fly over and land on.
Oh wow.
So that was a lot of fun.
I'm gonna try
Um,
that later.
Yeah.
the
Of course you are.
the Star Queen actually used to take me up to the top of there, and she had this little running gag with me back in the day because she had she managed to get herself some full body, so she'd stand at the top of there with me and then tell me to look over the edge, and I did it just for the running gag, and then she just pumped me off the edge. She watched me go whee.
Just freaking
Oh,
this is
definitely
Sparta
gonna
and your hide.
Yep.
Well,
Oh, I could see why this would be very sentimental. Um, so
Mhm.
from those times into the ones more modern when things merged, how did the worlds you used change, and did the way you interact with each other change at all, or did it all stay all about the same?
I think we've kept pretty much everything the same. The world's changed a little bit though.
Yeah, yeah.
From what I know, some of the worlds change over time. They either get more spacious, a little more cramped. It just generally depends on what kind of group we have going at that time. If the map starts feeling like just a small box, a couple of small boxes where you can't really move much, we'd go somewhere a bit bigger. But we'd always generally stick to some of the more popular maps, like I think Winter Company is one of our
Winter
favorites
Company.
to go to hang out. Though it's not the only map we go to. There are other options. I think we used to use Just Be Club 3 a lot as well.
Yes, that was laggy for a while though. They kept updating
Yeah.
new stuff, and it just became unbearable after a while.
and earlier you mentioned.
And of course there was the furry hideout
well.
one as well. Yeah, you and I were thinking
Yeah.
the same thing.
Furry Hideout was
That
ours
was-
was the map that we've used for a long while.
It's where
'Cause it
we
was
met
just
a
the most
good
convenient.
majority of our members.
Oh wow.
Yeah, when we hosted Publix in Furry Hideout, we yeah, that was the main thing back in the day.
Oh wow. Oh, I have another question. Have you guys ever used the Project Ironcrad map? Hello, I'm actually here to interrupt the episode you're watching really quick to ask you a favor. Please come join us at any of the other locations we have. You can find us on YouTube and Spotify, both of which we post our episodes and are very up to date on both. We have Discord where you go to hang out all the time, where you're gaming and shooting the breeze over with many people over that way. Feel free to come join us. I invite you. If you wish to support us, we have a Patreon where we post a bunch of random bits, bobs, and extra podcasts every once in a while for you to go enjoy. Also, if you wish to support us while in VRChat, we're now part of the creator economy, so please come join if you wish to support us there. It's there for you to choose if you so wish. And thank you very much, and a special thanks to some of the people who have signed up on our Patreon, which are as follows, and I have written down so I'll remember, and that's a tough thing. Forbidden Zero, Niche, Aliquum, Future Oracle, Lesser Capybara, and Frozen. Thank you all very much. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
Yes, we
Yes.
have.
Actually, yeah.
That's our current
Couple
hub
different
world.
occasions.
It's a personal favor. I've seen that map change over time and update so much. It's just now getting good.
Oh. So, Mask.
Especially after the
Sorry.
especially after the update on world saving that VRChat implemented
oh my
it
God.
last year. Oh my god, that was a godsend.
Saving. It was a godsend. I remember back in the day, you used to be able to duplicate stuff though, because right. So I probably shouldn't be saying this, right? So if you originally went on to Project Ironcrad, and don't ask how I found this out. I met some people in Project Ironcrad one day, and if you went into Project Ironcrad before they patched everything. And this is one of the main reasons they had to. And you brought down your drop-down menu, you pulled out a potion or a weapon or whatever, and you placed it down. Now, because the saving system was that janky, that if you didn't save, just rejoins the game. The sword that you placed down, somebody could pick up and stick in their inventory. But then when you respawned in, because you didn't save your own progress, you'd still have the sword.
You still kept it.
And
Ah.
people were using that to duplicate teleport crystals, which were worth God knows how much, because the teleport crystals are like 250 coal or something like that. So people were duplicating like non-stop amounts of them, and then selling them off, and then becoming rich as hell.
Oh wow.
It was a major exploit.
Oh,
It was a
wow.
fun experience indeed.
Oh,
The only major part to that, I was duped a elucidator by a beta tester of Project Ironcrad, but when they updated the world, I lost my elucidator and I cried. I was just like, no.
oh. So have you
At
guys?
least you still got the one on your back on your avatar currently, as well as one of my
Oh, this
swords.
is the night sky, dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
the
that's
blue
the night
rose
sky.
sword is this side. That's the night sky. Yeah.
So Mask, have you used it for any of your events yet?
What, this or
The Project Ironcrad
the
or
duping?
those, both.
Oh, the Project Ironcrad we've used I think once for an event for a couple of SAO nights or something like that.
Like
No.
once, maybe twice.
Yeah, no, we did. We've used it for we have used it once or twice. I do want to make an event out of that very soon. Where we go into there and we did, because that was the original plan with Project Ironcrad, was to get a guild going on there and start leveling up. These, to answer your other question, yes, these have been used in an RP once.
Ah. So another random question that it's kind of been in the back of my head. Where did the name of the group come from, the Sleeping Knights, and why'd you use it?
It was derived from a season of Sword Art Online season 2. The mother, quite ironically, the mother's Rosario. It was the name of the group that Yuki Kono ran. Yuki Kono in the series was friends with Asuna, and obviously, the Star Queen. She was a massive fan of that of those particular episodes, and so that's where the name the Sleeping Knights derived from. We all worked on the logo together. We worked on everything together, but most of the concept of the Sleeping Knights came from her.
Ah. So Mask, why did you specifically choose to use it or continue to use it?
In honor of the Star Queen, obviously the name meant a lot to the three of us, and it's a name I don't think will ever change. Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss. I didn't mean to bring anything up.
Especially yeah, it's especially to honor the legacy of our Star Queen, who, as we said before, she's no longer with us. May God rest her soul.
She passed away a while back. Yeah, it was a difficult time for the community.
I'm sorry for your
Yeah,
loss.
even those who never met her, like myself, for example, she was universally loved by all of us.
Wow.
Like the stories we told were some were hilarious, some were inspiring, to be honest.
She wanted to come on as much as she could to meet everybody properly. Obviously, she could only do changes via the Discord server, but she was in and out of hospital for medical reasons that much that she could never come on. But she always stated that she loved everybody in the server, having never actually got to properly hang out with them. And she
Wow.
loved how the community had turned out.
Oh. Well, I'm glad you're still honoring her for that. That's very good on all of you guys. I'm sorry for your loss. I didn't know I would walk into that. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
You're
You're
fine.
absolutely fine.
It's alright.
Okay.
I feel as if like retelling that is kind of integral to the history of this group.
Yes.
From the sounds that it.
It's a big part of our history.
Oh, so another question I'll ask as well is, what is coming with the future of your group? What are you currently working on, and what are some of your future events going to look like?
Well, we
keep
currently
them
have
going.
a ship being built that will become our main home base. But we we'll probably be using in the RP as well.
Not
Possibly.
the main RP. Well, probably not the main RP, but we will definitely
probably
be
create a
using it
separate
for
one for
a
that.
Star Trek RP.
The
Mhm.
wonderful Renaissance Wolf is the one who made the GFC's ship. These
Multiple ships.
Yeah, he's made multiple ships. That man has made way too many at this point. Yeah, we asked him for a Star Trek ship, and he's given us a Star Trek ship. Bless him. We really appreciate him for that. So
Hmm. Oh. So, alrighty. Well, thank you very much for explaining that. I am very happy for you guys, and hopefully, it goes well for you. The new ship.
thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, well, wait the last couple of questions before we wrap this up, and this I'd like to hear from all of you. The names you guys use in VRChat, where did they come from, and why do you use it? Start from here. Just move left, starting with Panda. Muggy.
So, I'm not sure if you've heard of a TV show that aired in 2010, I think, called Max Steel. The antagonist of that show, their name was, and it was pronounced Makino. This name did not exist back then for me. I had a bunch of different usernames, but this one for VRChat and for, well, when I wanted to get a headset in general, this is what I chose. It's what I chose for my YouTube channel as well. I just didn't want to seem generic. I wanted to be more unique compared to everyone else, to be honest, because I didn't want to, well, I wanted to go against the flow of things, you know. And so I chose Makino because it sounds nice. It rolls off the tongue a little bit. Because some people call me Maki sometimes too, which is also acceptable. It's really cute. But yeah, it came from a show called Max Steel, and the antagonist is actually a pretty cool character.
Hmm.
You know, for some reason I thought you got that from One Piece because there's a character of the exact same name in One Piece.
Oh,
I
wow.
thought you got it off Kung Fu Panda. Rust.
No, there's no one in there named Makino.
You know,
Well,
I'm
whenever I see
always
Red
just gonna
Panda-
call you Big Red.
Whenever I see a red panda, I think
Yeah.
of Shifu.
Yeah, but there's a clear difference in that one. Shifu is not 9 feet tall.
Well, I haven't seen the show version. I haven't seen the show version, so I don't know if that was a part of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have
Anyway,
I have other
reeling it back
nicknames.
in. Next in line,
Yes, I have
Racer,
other
I think.
nicknames.
Oh,
I wanted to wait and make sure they. Are you done?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Mine comes from the word reason. It was, in my mind, I saw like someone typing out the word on a typewriter, but running out of ink on the N, so it got shortened to an R, and that became my name.
oh wow.
It's an incomplete reason. It's close, just not all the way there.
Well, that's a really unique way of getting a name.
Interesting. Definitely.
Oh. What about you, Lessa?
My name is originally based from a novel book. It's called The Dragon Riders of Pern. Whoever know that fantasy book, you will probably know a human called Olessa, which is the one that rides dragons, and had a particular dragon. And I was so amazed by it that I just grabbed that name because originally it started it on Second Life because I used that name as my Second Life name. I started with Lessa, and we didn't have, and I had to choose a surname as well that came with Shafton. So I used that during the like almost 20 years by now, and it's just clicked for me. And I just use it less as shifted as most of the online gaming like Steam, Discord, Telegram, Twitter. I know.
The whole 9 yards.
And yeah, and before I came on the VRChat, I had to decide to use the same name but all together in one line. So I put that in VRChat, and that's how my name is born,
Oh wow.
just from a fantasy book.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing.
And for those
Oh.
yeah, and for those people who don't know what Second Life is, consider think like how VR chat is, except more Sims like, I would say. It reminds me of kind of The Sims when I've seen gameplay for it originally.
Oh. Oh.
Now that I think about it, Lesser Shipton does sound like something you would hear off Sims.
Well, I'm not surprised
That's-
they use the sim names. I mean, they literally call the instances where buildings are made anything that is built on a freaking open square. That's basically called a sim. So,
Mhm.
like in VRChat, you have instances, aka worlds. You have in Second Life, sims, aka instances that are basically connected with other sims. Depends on if it is connected or not. Sometimes it's just a single sim, but it's basically an instance. But it's like Rest and I all together, but those little worlds is just connected with each other, and that's how yeah, sims are born.
Mm. Okay. What about you, Angel?
I went with my username, YourAngel07, because obviously, as you can tell, I really like angel dust. And I put the 07 at the end because that's the year I was born. And I went with your angel because it can be taken in two different ways. Like your angel as in like biblical angel, like I take care of you, you're like I guard you, stuff like that. And your angel as in your angel dust.
Ah. Thank you very much for explaining that. Much appreciated. Oh. What about you, Kirito?
Pretty much the same thing. I just really like Kirito from Sword Art Online. He's a character that inspires me quite a lot to do everything that I do in the series. He's the one looking after everybody, and so and obviously his friends take care of him as well, which happens a lot in this group. We all look after each other. So yeah, that's
Wow.
the story behind my name.
Well, thank you for explaining that. I'm glad to know it. One of you, Scrapper?
Main inspiration behind my nickname, I've gone a couple, or my namesake, I've gone through a couple different names during my time in VR. This one in particular, God, it was through another group that I'm no longer a part of now. That was a Transformer group. You get to choose just for fun to be a part of different, take up the title of a different Transformer. When some of my buddies in the Constructicons, because that was a group within the bigger group, asked me to join in, I took this alias after the previous one decided to leave that group, and it's just kind of stuck ever since. The 86 has been more of a recent addition, though, as after we left the group, we decided to just start fresh, and we took the 86 as a reference to, I believe, the 86 movie.
Oh, wow. Oh. Well, thank you for explaining that. That's actually pretty cool.
Mhm.
I had no idea there was a Transformer roleplay group.
Yeah, it was nothing too serious. It was just it's more of a fan group rather than a roleplay group. It's just something just for fun.
Okay.
Like, eh.
Oh.
He does that a lot.
It's alright.
It's in
Yeah,
most of
it's
the
the
pictures you see a scrapper in the corner.
it's the goofiest thing.
Well, Next one online, I think, is Lance.
My name, as it stands currently, has kind of nothing really behind it. Nothing special about it. I just was making the username and just kind of came up with it.
Okay.
It was just kind of, what name sounds good? That one sounds good.
Oh.
It was originally Lancer, I believe. I think that was based off of the weapon used in Gears of War.
Hmm.
In which it's basically your standard issue kind of assault rifle with a underside chainsaw bayonet, but as for other kind of usernames, back when I first actually started VR, I went by the same username I used on my Xbox account, which was, what was it? I think it was Arissa Vale, I believe I used to go by.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
When I went by that one, that was based off of a little bit of Halo lore. I can't remember the exact lore on it, but it was based off of an elite from Halo whose full name I cannot remember, though part of his name was Arissa Vale, and I just thought that was incredibly cool and stuck with it for a time. Eventually I did move over to Lancer and eventually Lance because people were struggling to say Arissa.
Oh.
But for the most part, my name has nothing kind of special behind it as it sits currently.
Well, that's okay. There's nothing special behind it. It's your name, so it's all that really should matter, and makes it special in and of itself.
Plus, it's nice to have a little bit of simplicity in things. Just nothing kind of big going on with it. Just it's a name. As simple as it can be.
Okay. And simple works.
Yeah. Next one online. I'm not sure how to say your name. It's a bunch of numbers. You want to be
Dathomir.
referenced.
Yeah, we just call him Dathomir.
Dathomir?
I chose Son of Dathomir because I love Star Wars and Darth Maul. I do a lot of impressions, and one that I tend to do quite well is Darth Maul, and I just love Star Wars altogether.
Oh. Okay. That's pretty awesome.
As for the reason why it's a bunch of numbers, I believe it's because after not using it for a while, he got back on it, and something happened with his account, so it just messed up his old username.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, that's a story for another day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair. Thank you for sharing. It's awesome to know the origins of your name, so thank you very much. Oh. Cordina? I believe is how you pronounce it?
Cordiana. It
Cordiana.
was based off of one of my original D&D characters.
Oh.
A tiefling that was, well, demonic looking, but rather kind and wholesome. So, just keeping up with that.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. How long are you playing D&D for?
Oh, since 2nd edition. Back in middle school, early high school range of, like, wow, it's been far too long, honestly. But it was just like Heart of Light is what it basically referenced to. Because core being the center of her heart and Diana of light.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. Thank you for sharing. I haven't played D&D since high school myself, but that's pretty awesome that you honor a character like that. Oh.
Yeah.
And we have one
It's
more.
always been one of my favorites.
Sorry to cut you off.
I'd say my username comes from essentially the JP are my initials for my name, and then me and my friend we were sitting there trying to think of what else to put with JP because that's too short for a username for a lot of things. You need to have at least like more characters than just 2. And we were just sitting there and we just randomly sorted letters together and came up with Ominium. So we put JP at the beginning of it and became JPominium.
Oh.
But a lot of people call me either JP or J or in Kiri's case, Palm. And some other people seem to adapt that in this group too.
Okay, I have a
Again, I
horrible-
don't mind.
That's a
People can
horrible-
literally just say whatever.
Okay, I've just made a horrible realization on to how I've been thinking your name is spelled. I thought it was J Possum. I'm so sorry.
Oh man.
No, you're not the first. I will tell you that much.
I'm
Jay
so
Possum,
sorry.
that's a good one.
You're not the first, so don't worry, buddy. You're fine.
Should we do
I
that to
heard
Pom
J-
Pom as like an April
I
Fool's
heard-
joke
I heard
this year?
J-Ominium, like they skipped the P before. It was just like, what the hell? Like, come on now.
Oh. And one more question for all of you as well that we ask everybody's avatars you're in. Why do you use it? Where did it come from? Is there anything about it that means anything to you? Same order if that's okay? Ooh.
So this character did not exist 3 years ago or 4 years ago. When I got onto VRChat, always wanted an avatar for myself that I could identify myself as. I could never find it. When I was adopted into a VRChat family, in April of 22, I was offered either a tanuki or a red panda. As you can see, I chose a red panda. This avatar has sentimental value because, well, one of the main reasons is because the movie called Turning Red. I have some designs on my fur that were pretty much reminiscent of the designs that they use for their pandas. Main reasons is because, but also the character itself, my Sona. She's she's a warrior monk. Comes from Earth during the Second World War. She is her home used to be in mainland China. Some weird stuff happened. Now she's in a different realm. She turned into this. She used to be human. And I wanted this to be an example of, as well, like her story, as well as myself, how I carry myself. I want this to be pretty much an expression of how I want others to perceive me, which is comforting, cuddly, open, transparent, just to be a beacon of light to others to come to for if they seek refuge. That's what I wanted, and I have that, and I'm so happy I do.
Wow.
I have, yeah, a long way. 3 years ago, my life was just not doing so well at all. I was not doing so well at all. I suffered from loss myself. Recovered from COVID-19. I had Omicron. All that pretty much just fueled, all that pretty much just fueled my passion to become a better person. And that is where I stand right now today. This is why I'm wearing this avatar. Not just because it looks really good, but because this is an expressive avatar as well for what I want people to see that's in here.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Much appreciated. I'm glad I got to know a little more about you. Thank you.
How are we supposed to top that?
Cool. Izor, I think you're next.
I've always loved animals, especially the more exotic animals. And when I learned about African wild dogs, I found a special connection with them. They're absolutely adorable. They make squeaky toy noises in real life. They vote on if they're going to go hunt or not by sneezing. They have a wonderful sense of community. They'll take care of and nurse wounded and elderly back to health. I just love them, but unfortunately, they're endangered and they're not doing too well. And I'm want to show like solidarity with them. They're very good doggies.
Oh.
Mm,
Oh.
things like habitat erosion and diseases from domesticated dogs because of the encroachment of humanity into their territories are damaging their population. I think there's like 2,400 approximately in the wild right now. And I want to see them make a comeback.
I hope so too. Thank you for sharing that. It's pretty awesome to know that's why you chose your avatar, so thank you. It looks really awesome, by the way. Oh. That's it? Same question to you.
Why this avatar? Well, I'm pretty much sure everybody agrees it's basically based from the Legend of Zelda. And I made a Zonai version out of it from a regular Kuda dragon. But I also have to credit Kuda for the dragon, not only for the dragon, but also for the add-on that was originally designed for the Sylvan avatar. Was the Zonai ears and the hair. So I put it on a dragon and I surprised Kudalin with it. And she loved it. So I kept this original design because I love dragons in general, even though Zonais are kinda dragon-ish. But yeah, I love it so much that I just created my own.
Oh. I think it looks awesome. And thank you for sharing. I haven't played the Legend of Zelda regularly since I was a kid, so thank you for sharing. Oh. Angel?
I just so happened to be in a Prismix one day looking through avatars, and when I see an Angel Dust avatar, I immediately try it on to see if I like it. I saw this one, thought it was really cool, and I was like, I'm gonna wear that. I like that one. I'm gonna wear it.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing. I think it looks really awesome.
Thank you.
Oh. Kirito?
Pretty much the same thing. If I say Kirito avatar, I go nuts for it. My first Kirito avatar that I got whilst I was on here, I still have that one. It's basically a low res version of this. So the Night Sky Blade and Blue Rose Sword. It worked out well for a while, and then obviously when I found a high res version like this one with all the effects and with Go-Go on it, just had to have it. It's my best one that I have.
Oh.
So
I think it fits you very well. It looks really awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Robert?
As for me, this is just one of a couple of different avatars that I switch between. I just like this one in particular because it just feels comfy, to be honest. I've usually been comfortable in either a lot of these more furry avatars or even the custom avatar that my buddy Bunk Rusher made for me based on my namesake.
Oh.
But yeah, I just feel comfortable in this one. Another one I switched to is the default Tiger Bee avatar. I think that's what a lot of people knew me as when I first started this group on that one. Just they thought it was really cute, just me being me in that Avi. And I met a lot of people through that thing. Met just as many people
You
through
are
this
emotional
as well.
support, Tiger Bee.
Plus, it's really
That I
fun to
am.
give him head pats.
Mm-hmm.
I think
We'll
it's
have him do the goofy face of the.
Oh, I think it suits you very well. I like the avatar very much so.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Lance?
So mine is actually my first attempt at a custom model for myself. I've uploaded it earlier last month, and there are plans to improve it and such as go forward, but when I saw it on Booth, I just thought it's the one that really spoke to me, I guess. It felt like my virtual self, and well, I coughed up the money for it, and I haven't regretted it since.
For a first attempt at a custom model, it looks awesome. I've seen a lot of other people's first model attempts, and they look janky. Like it came out of a back alley thrift store or something. That looked really good.
To be honest, it's a prefab. It's a prefab. It's not mine per se. It was someone else's that I bought from a website and uploaded myself. But there are plans to adjust the outfit and hair. But for the most part, it's just been kind of the one that really spoke to me.
Well, don't underestimate your ability. I can't use Unity myself, and to be honest, being with people who looks at Unity and things break, it's still very awesome that you can upload an avatar without your computer deciding a blue screen or something like that. True story that happened.
Looking at Unity, it's a lot of what do all these words mean? And I don't even know half of the tools do in Unity. I just know what buttons to click to make an avatar work.
Well,
Yeah, I remember last time I was working on Lens Avatar to make it quest compatible because I know a bit more about Unity and I'm doing commission works and texture works for people for their own avatars, as well working in Blender to fit a clothing or a particular object on the avatar. So I was able to help them out.
oh, I like the avatar very much so, Lance. And please keep on working with Unity. To be quite honest, the more you work with it, the easier it'll be. And at some point, you'll be able to make your own custom from scratch. It's like any other skill; it takes time. Don't.
There are many plans so far. I'm beginning work on doing like outfit swaps. At the moment, it's just trying to figure out how to get so it's just the hands are visible on the avatar and not the rest of the body, so the outfit can sit nicely. It's just it does not like playing nice at the moment. So.
Oh, well, good luck. Very much so. And
Thank you.
Son of Dathomir, I think you're next.
So I mainly have two main ones. I have this one, which I love because Darth Maul has a lightsaber. And then I also have a Gambit Avi that actually throws the cards and makes them explode as well, which I found really cool. And I can't hear it because I'm on Quest, but my PC friends have told me that when I put it on, you can actually hear Channing Tatum's Gambit from Deadpool and Wolverine.
It's not Channing Tatum specifically, but it's a version of that quote. The whole "I'm about to make a name for myself" quote from Deadpool and
I'm about to
Wolverine.
make a name for myself here.
Which, when I found out, I laughed till I cried.
Oh, I think
it was funny because when we first figured it out, we were
I'm
inside
about
of
to
a
make a name
GFC
for myself
meeting.
here.
We were in a GFC meeting, and then that started playing, and everybody in the GFC meeting is all serious. They're all going through like all the notes and stuff. Just went everywhere looking for where it was coming from.
Everybody just looking at it like, what? What?
Oh, sometimes the best moments are the ones that aren't expected.
Indeed.
I mean, the other day I joined Kyoto in a firefight in a ship as Mort, and everyone just looked at me so confused.
Oh my god.
Oh goodness.
No. We looked at you confused, then we all decided not to shoot each other and just to shoot you.
Yeah. They shot me with flamethrowers, and that was not cool. I mean, where's the love?
Well, of course, it's not cool. It was fine.
It was just a very
then
It's gonna be hard. It was
embrace.
fine.
Where's the
Also,
love for Mort, people?
They did not want more to touch the feet. We've told you too many times to not touch the feet.
Don't touch the feet.
Oh.
Anyway, what's to reel it back in. Cordy?
Well, this is another booth bottle that I've bought. I made some edits to and just recolored it. I just enjoyed dark birds like crows and ravens and, well, love harpies. So, had to go for it.
Oh, well, it's a very good-looking avatar. It's very well built and looks nice. Suits you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Oh, well, thank you for sharing. And there's one more left. Possum? Sorry, I had to.
Hey,
damn
Possum.
That's gonna stick around for a while.
On my end, I found this model lately and I really enjoy it, but I'm slowly working on something in Blender from a booth model that I bought. So, because I've done a few booth models that I like edited and all that, but it's all been in Unity editing, so very unoptimized in VRChat wise.
Oh,
Because it has like 80 chest bones from all the outfits that I put onto it. But I'm slowly working on like another booth model in Blender currently, like slowly putting clothing on, fitting it properly, and making sure that it's, you know, I don't have 5 chest bones or 5 neck bones from trying to put outfits on the avatars.
oh.
So
Yeah, the avatar looks nice. Keep
I'm
at it.
always bouncing.
The
I mean,
avatar looks
that
nice.
would be a
Always
great
bouncing
look
between
if we
Aggies.
ever did a horror like night. That would be a great look if we did a horror night, like 5 neck bones all sticking out.
Oh.
That would be awesome.
Oh.
Gosh.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you all very much for sharing with us your tales and stories and where the Sleeping Knights came from. It was an absolute honor to be able to hear from all of you, so thank you very much.
Thank you
The
for having
pleasure's been
us.
all ours, my friend.
Thanks for
It's been
having
fun.
us. Yeah.
No
It's been
problem.
a lot of fun.
And if the audience, someone in the
Are you
audience
gonna
wishes to
stick
reach
around?
out and find you, where can they find you?
In VRChat. That's pretty much where we
VR
are.
chat or Discord?
More
Yeah.
likely.
VRChat or Discord.
Oh,
Primarily, VR would definitely be the best place to be because you get to hear the voices and see the abbeys behind this group.
If I'm
Yes.
remembering correctly, though, some of us do also have TikTok accounts that we upload to as well. I think you had one, Kiri.
Yeah.
Some
I
have
don't know if you've
TikTok, some
uploaded
have
to it
Twitch
recently,
accounts,
but-
some have YouTube channels.
I have a I have a TikTok. A few of us have Twitches as well.
Oh,
Yep.
Twitch account. I just need to get back into streaming.
Same.
Same.
Yes, same.
I would have to start streaming.
oh.
I'm gonna be busy. Need to do all the
I'd have to get set
conversion
up.
for the V-Roy models.
Oh, well, thank you all very much. And every link for all of them, if they wish it to be there, will be in the description down below. If you're on Spotify, it's over in the episode description. So if you go over that way, there's a section of both called guest links, and everything will be right there for you to find. Click it, easy. Really easy to go. So just go over that way while you're listening to this and save all the links you wish to go visit. One easy place for you. And this is the point where we will give the interactive audience. Normally that's a question, but I feel like bringing up a comment someone brought up previously, and funny enough, there's one from back when we talked to the GFC a while back, given by a friend of ours, Crane VT, who said, "Damn, I love Star Trek. I haven't. This group looks super cool, and I would love to meet them sometime." Honestly, I would like to see their stuff too, to be quite honest. And I believe Lydian also responded to that comment too. So with that said, hopefully you, Crane, you join their groups. Star Trek is awesome, and so is Roleplay. So there's that. And we got to give this a closer, which Raptor's not here, so I'll give it a very Raptor-esque closing. If you ever see the Sleeping Knights, find the one over here and give Possum some love. With that said, see you all in the Metaverse. Have a good rest of your night.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Now my ear itches. Fucking bitch. I need a haircut. Fuck, I can't even get my hat on anymore. It doesn't work. It'll be complicated. Up and up. Think of things made it. Hey, hey, hey.